Hello, it's me, the Gem. I decided to kind of make this video impromptu, even though a lot of people have been encouraging me to do videos, post them on YouTube. For whatever reason, I've been apprehensive. But here I am, better late than never. And actually, it's sort of not even me listening to the people that have told me to do videos, but kind of for almost a selfish purpose. Um, as some of you may know, I am also the founding visionary of Gems International Incorporated, and I wear a host of other hats besides being the gym, being a coach, being a motivator, being a speaker, and a spiritual midwife. And let me explain the spiritual midwife piece because I've been getting a lot of questions. It's not something I just made up, didn't sound good to me, thought I might use it. It was something that was given to me in the spirit by God. I went to a conference after doing a conference for other women last year. I went to a conference to kind of give something to myself, and I was tired and I was worn out, and all of those kind of things that come after you do something on a large scale for other people that you really aren't doing for yourself. And as I was sitting in this church at this conference in prayer, God spoke to me and said, I've called you to be a spiritual midwife. And what that is that I am charged with helping people to birth things from their spirit. A lot of times when we struggle, when we go through things in life, when we just don't feel right, when something is off, we may look good, we may be in good health, but where that off feeling is coming from, what's not quite right, is usually our spirit. We are spirit first and foremost, and our spirit needs to be managed and taken care of and cultivated. And if we don't do that, then we will feel the effects of that in a natural manner. You know, we may start to see our skin change. We may see mood swings. We may find it trouble enjoying things that we used to enjoy. And so it's very important that we keep our spirit in tune, that we keep it clean, that we keep it checked up, that we keep it, on point, just the same as we would do our car. We get our oil changed, we get tune-ups, we go for we take care of our physical body, we take vitamins, we exercise, we try to eat right, hopefully. All those things that we do for our external objects, our material possessions, as well as our physical body, we also need to do that for our spirit. Our spirit is also something that will guide us in life if we keep it in check. And even sometimes when we're not keeping it in check, our spirit will probably have us in places where we're not best or served as well as we could be in other places. So my role as a spiritual midwife is to help people to kind of stabilize, because you can't give birth to something if you're not stable. So to stabilize where they are in their life if they're not stable, and then to help them to give birth to what was placed in their spirit from birth. All of us are born with something in us that is innately good. No matter who we were born to or what we were born into, we were all born with something in us that is innately good. We're born with more instinctual tools than we have as adults, because as we're exposed to outside elements and outside environments in the outside world, and we're exposed to things that are innately good, then that sometimes will change the makeup of what is inside of us. So as a spiritual midwife, helping people to stabilize if they're not stable, getting back to that innate good in them, and to help them to birth that innate good out of them and live the best life that's for them. Not the life that I live myself, because my life is the way that I'm supposed to live my life, but the life that they desire to live, the life that's based on that innate good in them and getting them into the right place. So I said all of that to say, as carrying all the things that I carry and doing all the things that I do, sometimes I am worn out, sometimes I overcommit myself, and that is something that I'm working on in my journey and being the best me, is to learn to continuously be focused on balance. And so right now, and for the last probably couple of weeks, I've been jokingly saying so, but really truthfully speaking, I've been saying that I'm operating very close to my lower self. And what that means is just that my lower self is the me that is not operating at my best self. It's the me that doesn't use my filter. It's the me that doesn't necessarily operate in a way that's going to serve me past the moment that I'm in. Maybe saying things in a quick way and not thinking about it. not looking at the greater good, not looking at the bigger picture, but looking at the here and the now, going on based on my emotions and my feelings, which is not a way that I like to operate, because I tend to say things and do things that I then have to go back and clean up or addendum or fix in some way. So just having a lot going on sometimes and not being able to really care for my spirit the way I know I need to. And I really need a vacation right now, and I'm actually trying to get some things taken care of so that I can do that. But I know in that need for rest and that need for a vacation, and also not trying to shirk my responsibilities, I've, like I said, been operating in my lower self. And today I felt like I was the rubber band stretch getting ready to pop. The phone was ringing before I could get out of my bed this morning, and emails and different things, and coming at me, and it was all a pull, all people wanting things from me, all things I needed to give attention to and take care of. And just as I was getting ready to say, you know what, I'm not doing any of it, forget all of it, and really operate according to my feelings and my emotions, I came across something in my devotion time this morning that kind of put a check, that kind of put me in check. And I was like, oh, okay, well, my bad. And I'm trying to find it so that I can reference it correctly, even though I did bookmark it. So, sometimes we get into that mode, especially when we have a charge in life, when we are in that place where we found our purpose and we know what it is we're supposed to do, and we really wholeheartedly want to do it, and we want to do it, with a sense of excellence. Sometimes we put a lot of pressure on ourselves, or sometimes we can get, as my mother used to say, beside ourselves. And so I think that's kind of what was happening to me this morning. I was getting beside myself. So just as I was thinking, and I posted this on Facebook, so if we're Facebook friends, you've already seen this. I said, just as I was thinking, who signed me up to be the resident problem solver for residents other than mine? As I opened up my devotion, I came across this scripture. This was the scripture of the day, and it says, who is there among you who is wise and intelligent? Then let him by his noble living show forth his good works, and with unobtrusive humility, which is the proper attribute of true wisdom. And that's James 3:13, and that's the amplified version of that. And what that said to me was, I understand that I've been given a lot. I've been gifted with a lot. I have a lot of talents and a lot of abilities. And wisdom and intelligence is something that I have been gifted with. I don't take any credit for it. It's just, that's the way God made me. And he did that to serve his purpose. And so if I accept the fact that I'm intelligent, if I accept the fact that I'm wise, and I operate in that, so I do accept it, then I have to accept the things that come along with it. He didn't make me intelligent and wise to just be of good to myself, or just so I could say I'm intelligent and I'm wise. He made me intelligent, he made me wise, because he wants to use me for his service. And in him using me for his service, that means that sometimes I will get phone calls in the middle of the night, or I will get phone calls, people needing something, wanting something, before I can even lift my head fully off the pillow in the morning. And although I don't believe that I'm charged with handling everything that comes my way, I do have to use discernment, and I do have to kind of decipher what needs to be done by me, and what I can pass off, and what I can point somebody in another direction. But I do understand that I'm always supposed to operate under humility, and that I'm always supposed to be gracious. Just because I'm feeling some kind of way does not mean that everybody needs to know that I'm feeling that way, and I need to operate as such. And so that kind of was what came across this morning. And then on top of that, after my day got rolling, things were just rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling, and I felt just a lot of resistance. I felt like every time I got something checked off my list, or every time I took one step with something, that I was meeting some other obstacle. And I remembered, I guess it was about a year and a half ago, just receiving a word on resistance. And if you're not doing anything worth stopping, you won't receive resistance. When you are receiving resistance, that is when you kind of know that you're being strengthened in some way, or that something is trying to stop you in a way from getting accomplished what you're trying to accomplish. So we always have to be aware when we're meeting a lot of resistance, to see, okay, why am I getting this resistance? Is it something I'm not supposed to do? And when we're not clear on our purpose, or not operating in our purpose, that's usually the case. But when we're clear on our purpose, and we're operating in our purpose, and we're receiving a lot of resistance, we have to understand that that is usually a way of making us stronger. That is usually a way of some force that's against us, trying to make sure that we don't get that thing accomplished, because it's going to be something that reaches more than just us, and usually it's something that goes farther than we ever intended it to. And so then I went online and I pulled up YouTube to look up a song. I had a song playing in my head, and I still can't figure out what the song was. I just had like a hook for the song playing, and was looking for this song, and all of a sudden YouTube opened up with a suggestion for me. And I never really had this happen where they had a video at the top as is the video that they would suggest you watch. And it was Jason Nelson's, I guess, a song off of his new album. I guess it's a new album called Dominion. And that song just really spoke to me. It talks about how nothing has dominion over you that you don't allow to have dominion over you, especially if it's not for your good and it's not serving you. So depression, anger issues, sadness, procrastination, those things that sometimes really do weigh us down, they do not have dominion over us. They do not have control over us unless we allow them to have control over us. Sometimes the things that we realize are in our presence, we in acknowledging them, we embrace them, which means that we give them a place to sit. And so that kind of prompted me to do this video. It wasn't rehearsed. I'm just kind of going as the Spirit leads me to say this, and I don't even know who this is for, who's going to watch this, but I say this: whatever it is that you have acknowledged in your presence, whether it is an addiction, whether it is a mental illness, whether it is just a really bad habit, if you know in your heart of hearts that it is not serving you, it is one thing to acknowledge it. It is another thing to embrace it and allow it to have a presence in your life. Saying, well, I have depression. You may have it, but it doesn't have to have you. Whatever it is that is holding you down, that is holding you back, that is keeping you from going where it is you were born and intended to go, it doesn't have to continue to hold you down. You can be free of that thing. You can make it so that, that thing was a part of your life that is no longer a part of your life. There are ways for you to get loose from whatever it is you feel is keeping you from going where you want to go and being who you want to be. I didn't intend for this video to be this long. I didn't really know when I recorded it where I was going, but I feel like I've said what I needed to say. I thank you. I hope that you paid attention, that you watched from the beginning to the end. I will be operating in more obedience in this area, and I will be posting more videos. Please leave a comment. Please hit me up on Facebook. My Facebook name is Felicia The Gem Roach. You can also go visit my website, www.feliciathegem.com, or you can reach me via email, feliciathegem617@gmail.com. Take care, and remember to always operate in your best self.